time for games. I rearrange my vocals in your head.
Everyone, it's me, Denise K, and I am joined with, I should say with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hands to Deke.
Dodgers!
Dodgers.
Game
He ain't gonna be
tonight.
dodging under these rocks, though.
Okay, gotcha.
And then also we have here a very special guest who happens to be my man. You guys hear me talk about him a lot. His name is Al. And so he's going to be giving his perspective on some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So this is another edition of Don't Believe the Hype, where we ask you to go beneath the surface of what you've been told to see if it's true for yourself. So basically, do some research, search for yourself, and make an informed decision on what you learned. And so today, we are going to lead off talking about Tamar, who, for those of you guys don't know who she is.
Wait, before we get into the topic, you were absent on your show Sunday?
Yes, I was absent on my show. And then
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, a girl's got to take a break sometimes, right?
Yeah. But it seems like every time Al comes into town, your focus just gets away.
Well, ain't that where it's supposed to be?
That gives the state of California a hiatus.
Yes,
okay,
exactly,
good.
from my mouth.
So I had to step into your show.
Yes, you did, and you did a wonderful job. So for those of you guys who are wondering what Donovan was talking about, go to his YouTube News from the Edgemont.
News from the Edgemont.
And check it out.
Or look it up, Donovan Sadiq, because I hashtag that. Remember that video we put out the week before and they flagged it?
Yes.
They finally approved it, so it's free now.
Okay, cool.
So whenever a video has been flagged and you guys can't get to it on YouTube,
yeah, you can see that one at all.
Yeah, wait a couple of days because basically the corporation's trying to say we own it. But as you guys know, in most of our videos, I always put fair use.
Fair use, right in the beginning.
And they don't. It's a bot or whatever it is. So just give it a couple of days and it'll clear.
Right.
So
you can't sue because you're not getting no money. So
exactly.
Well, anyway, so back to Miss Tamar Braxton. And for those of you guys who don't know who she is part of the Braxton family, who also has
the Braxton
a career,
Ratchets.
You stupid. Has a career of her own as being a singer. I think this one of her number one songs was "Love and War." So I heard it.
That song. It had the juicy fruit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hell, y'all know more about Tamar than I do.
Well, she was cute at one time. Yeah, she was cute at one time before she got all that plastic surgery. But
well, she's the youngest.
Yeah, she's the youngest.
Of all the sisters, Toni Braxton being her most famous sister.
Mm-hmm.
Al's actually contemplating leaving me for Toni Braxton one day.
Well, wait, but your man Birdman's hitting that now.
Yeah, he can have it.
Yeah, exactly. When she did that, I was done with her.
Right. So anyway, she's back in the news again, I guess you could say, because her new, what she would call her Wakanda prince, has left her. Allegedly, he has cheated on her with another Nigerian woman.
Did he cheat on her? Or did he said, I had enough?
That's the other speculation is that, and I say speculation, because I don't know for sure, but it sounds like that he got tired of her mouth. And for those of you guys who didn't see the show that she did with Ayala, Fix My Life, her and her sisters and her mom and dad, they were on the show, and Ayala, I guess, was trying to help fix them, whatever's wrong with them. And there was a particular scene that stuck out where Tamar had a heated, rather disrespectful back and forth with Ayala, calling her sis, and, you got one more time to be running your mouth, and all this other stuff. I mean, it was just a lot.
Fight.
Well, it was a lot. Here's this woman who's an esteemed woman in the black community and just in life in general, who has some age and wisdom on her, and she's talking bad to this woman. And so I don't watch the show, but I watched it on YouTube because people were talking about it. And the moment I saw her acting like that, I said, what man in their right mind is going to stick around for that? And then lo and behold, the new man, who was some Nigerian millionaire, whoever the hell.
Y'all sisters need to stop, leave these Africans alone. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, if you think about the culture of Africans and the dynamics between them and their women, it seems like their women are a little bit more submissive than American women.
Right.
That's not, being belittling to African American women. That's just the way it is. And so you have this Nigerian man who's with a...
Really not, but...
I think that has a lot to do with it, but I also think... obviously, the way she was brought up or raised has a lot...
Her mama said, I didn't raise you that way.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's the dynamics between her mom and her dad. I mean, she saw that behavior somewhere.
Well, they're from D.C. originally, right? Around Washington area?
Yeah, Baltimore.
Now, Baltimore, that little area, there's nothing concrete or New Yorkish about that area. It's very rural in those areas. So to act like that, and you know, you're from Houston. Even people from Houston, it's a different dialect. It ain't like they trying to be Compton hard, like in L.A. or New York. You know, it's a different.
But her, as Ayala kept calling her out on her behavior, it's bad, and so she got mad because she kept calling her out on her. But I'm like, who in the right? Like I can't see her having, and we know too, she was fired from the Real, that talk show, due to her behavior in her mouth. And so at the minute I saw that interaction with Ayala, I was like, there's no way a man is going to stay around for that.
Ain't no way.
No man worth his weight as one is going to stay around for that. And so I'll transition to the other thing. Then I want to, actually, this is going to be sort of an interview for Al and Donovan from a male's point of view in regards to women, especially black women, because that's what you guys deal with.
Damn.
No, I would like to change my draft pick, and I will be going to the other side.
You want to die?
Yeah, no, okay.
And speaking of draft pick, I'm sure it says right here, breaking news, that the OWN network has changed the Ayala Fix My Life after Tamar brand there to Ayala Fix My Mouth.
yes. Ching ching.
Right. Okay. And so now the next story we have is what's her name? Tokyo Toni.
And who is Tokyo?
Tokyo Toni is the Black China. I would love to tell you who Black China is, except I don't know what she does exactly.
Well, Hoenn is a...
Okay, you
maybe
said
she's Hoenn
in
Tokyo.
Yeah,
okay.
Hoenn is a big thing.
I guess she's an Instagram. She was a video vixen. She was in her ex baby daddy's video, Tyga, Rack City. And so that's how people
Tokyo Toni dated?
No, Black China.
Oh, Black China. Okay, gotcha.
Dated Tyga, and she was in his video, Rack City.
These hoes be getting their men.
Yeah, and I guess she formerly was on the pole before that happened. So that's how she kind of blew up.
And her mother was
I guess she was but believe it or not, her mom was in the army. And then I guess
I support my fellow veterans.
But I guess somehow she ended up as a stripper or adult in or somehow.
A lot of them do. You'll be surprised at how many women will leave the military because, like right now, like when I was overseas in combat, sisters were coming up on some dough out there in the field.
That kind of money.
They were coming back with cash dollars. And those of you guys listening and watching that are veterans, you know what I'm talking about.
Service and a need, okay?
Yes,
Supply
exactly.
and demand,
Exactly.
So anyway, the mom is back in the news. Tokyo Toni being Black China's mom is because she is estranged from Black. You didn't think I knew that word, did you? Estranged from her daughter, Black China, because I guess Tokyo Toni, it's some ghetto drama. Wanted some money from China, was supposed to help her fund her book. I guess some sort of a tell-all book, but some way they fell out. So Black China's not giving her mom any money. She's cut her off financially. The mom is homeless. All kind of stuff. She hasn't seen the grandkids in over a year. Can
I say something?
Sure.
Tokyo Toni's audience. Who? Okay, number one, the audience.
She has people watching her.
Well, yeah, watching her. We're talking about reading. She's talking about a book. She's talking about reading.
So you're saying her target audience wouldn't
they
have
don't
the
read. They don't
well,
read.
You know what? We tend to read the stuff like Superhead and, all the tell-alls about, who's...
No, we don't read. We just look at the pages.
Yeah, the pages. Exactly.
But that audience wants to see who she sucked off. I hate to be so vulgar. And who she dropped it like it was who gave her this money. And
right.
So we read that kind of stuff along the...
or we'll have grandma read it to us because we're not going to school like we're supposed
along
to.
the Zane is, the Zane type of novels and stuff.
Okay, I agree.
And so Tokyo, Black China, I feel like Wendy Williams, I swear to God. Black China has removed her funding from her mama. So the mama ended up homeless and all kinds of stuff. She hasn't seen the children. She reached out to Amber Rose saying, can you help mediate the situation? Because I want to see those kids, is what she called them.
Sure she does.
Right. So, but then Black Tokyo Toni goes on this tirade on her social media, calling her daughter a rape baby and a whore and you ungrateful bat. Just talking about her, just the worst ever. Like I could never imagine, as mad as I would be at my daughter, I would never imagine talking about her that way, especially to people I don't know.
Well, with Indiana's defense, I think she would try to take you to the carpet, even though you might take her, but she'll try. Yeah, she'll try.
And so now she's asking Rob Kardashian, who Black China's youngest daughter is with, to let her see the child.
Why the hell would Rob get involved when she was co-signing on this chick taking him down?
Mind you, from what I understand,
maybe Rob need to break up with Tokyo Tony and get with Tamar.
No, and so it sounds like too that Black China and Tokyo Tony it kind of took Rob to the bank because it sounded like he bought the mom a nice luxury Mercedes, and she was getting securing the bag, if you will, too, through her daughter. So
That's
now
so
she's
sad.
asking Rob to help her see your daughter. It doesn't sound like he's responded, but I just thought, how unfortunate. How unfortunate.
I feel bad for the kids.
Well, it also made me think too, okay, you have this contrast, not that Kim, the Kardashians' mom, Kris Jenner, is a saint, but at least we've never seen her talk about her kids the way Tokyo Tony has talked about her daughter.
But you're dealing with a different culture.
Okay, so so I'm glad you followed me there. So hold on to that note.
Gotcha.
Okay. And there was something else I wanted to talk about that slipped my mind.
About how great your man is and look what you got.
I would agree.
Exactly. Okay, so when I think of the other story I wanted to talk about, we'll get into that.
Okay.
But so I want to ask you guys from a male's point of view. Let's go back to Tamar for a second. This Nigerian man, no, I don't call him Nigerian because I don't know his name.
Let's call him eBay.
Let's say that he did. He's stupid. Let's just say he did leave her because of her mouth.
Okay.
What say you guys? I mean, because we hear a lot of times black men, especially black men, will say, I'll get me a white woman because they don't talk as much as you black women talk. And, I mean, give me the deal. What's the deal here?
Let's first of all talk to a man who has a woman. Al, what is your?
Let's talk to a man who don't have a woman yet.
Okay. Well, you want my opinion?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to be a gentleman and let the guest go first. Personally, because the way I was raised as a military person, I'm not into all that voice stuff. I'm a Ike Turner follower, right?
Yes.
Male chauvinistic. When I say that male chauvinistic, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean I'm a traditionalist.
And you know what? As a woman, hearing you say you're a male chauvinist, that doesn't bother me because the male chauvinist tag has gotten a negative connotation, and that's not where it originated from.
Right, exactly. So, I'm a traditionalist. I believe that I have a role and she has a role. I don't want to hear all that noise. I mean, I'm not saying it's a dictatorship, but as your man, if you come to me and say, honey, I want this car, and because men deal with logic where women are more emotional.
Right.
Hey, our funding doesn't do that, sweetheart. An upstanding man, I'm going to get you the Mercedes. I just can't get it to you right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
but
what I
I
mean?
need you to understand that our finances ain't
where
more
we
like
need
a
to
Chevrolet.
be. Right now, we need to.
You in the Chevrolet baby right now.
Right. I need to get to that old Tiburon,
Right.
So, the problem that I think, it's not even a problem. I'm just saying, our people have a problem with wanting to have the last word and the last saying. And with me, that's going to get you this.
Oh, going to get you 5 knuckle sandwich?
Yeah, it's going to get you this.
We know you're joking, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'll just ask you, Al. Let's just say hypothetically, you saw me and I was behaving in that way.
Okay.
That way being how Tamar was behaving. What would be the first thing going through your mind? Would the first thing be like, damn, I still got to get at her? Because there's a lot of dudes who be like, well, shit, she cute.
Yeah.
A lot of men are turned on by women like that.
I don't know why.
That is fleeting. That's good for a second. We're talking about a lifetime. I'm trying to be with you for a lifetime.
So, what would have been what would have went through your mind if you saw me behaving somewhere? I don't know where you would have saw me doing that, but you would have saw me behave that way.
Well, as somebody's great father always says,
yes,
you can't rest on pretty.
Yes.
Hey, it damn sure helps, but that's not everything.
Right.
Now, I have told you so many times before, even before we met, that me personally, I've always went for women who spoke eloquently.
Yes.
I don't like...
Why are you with her? I don't know right now.
I keep telling you that.
As crazy as this may sound, I think if more men raise their standards in being with a woman, not just because of her body, but because of her mind. And true enough, we don't like women who talk, like to say, superfluous.
Yeah, superfluous.
Excessively.
Yes, too much. It's okay to talk, just not
So
too
that
much.
is a major turnoff.
Right.
So I don't mind having the last word. If she has the last word, because it has to end some kind of way.
Right. True.
Okay. Yeah. We're arguing, and you get the last word, so she might be like, "Nah, motherfucker, what you mean?
Right.
You
right.
can't say nothing
Yeah.
else."
See, I can't deal with that.
So that becomes a turnoff. And guys, if you're arguing with a woman and she's constantly bickering, and you get the last word, trust me, her pussy is not getting any wetter, and your dick isn't going to get any harder.
There it is.
So
the hard
you're going to
truth.
have to end it some kind of way.
The hard truth.
Somebody has to be the adult.
Yes, absolutely.
And me personally, no
shade,
no shade, no disrespect, but I've always liked white black girls.
Right.
The woman that you see at Walmart, that kind of stuff. That's a turn off.
Yeah,
in
the pajamas and the
Okay.
Hey, we want educated sisters,
right,
who can speak
right
beyond the Jet magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm glad that because I want to make a clarification here, because I'll just put it out there. I take issue with, and this is nothing new to me and Al. We talk about this a lot. I take issue with the term the white black girl, in that black women who speak like they have some sense, which ain't always me.
Right. I agree with that.
I don't think I don't think that means that you're acting white.
Mm-hmm.
I think that means that you are educated, and you know how some people would say, know how to speak the Queen's English or the Queen's language, which is proper English. But I get where you're going with that, because a lot of people do think. Because I used to get that a lot. Me and my siblings, when we would go visit our cousins in Los Angeles, we were raised pretty much in Santa Barbara.
I mean, you cultures are kind of bougie.
We not. You hear what I said? I said we not. No, we're not.
Right.
But we used to get that a lot when we go visit our cousins in L.A. They lived in Compton, stuff like that. No shade to them. But they would say, you guys are talking white. You guys are talking proud.
Y'all proud talkers.
And I never knew what that meant. But so to have somebody say that you're acting white because you speak like you have some sense, I just think.
So when someone says you're acting ghetto, what does that attribute to?
Well, when somebody says that you're acting ghetto, obviously they attribute that to the neighborhood, the ghetto, and that you speak like I ain't got no, and you know what I'm saying, and all this that to me,
right? The culture.
So when Mick Jagger says I can't get no,
well. But did Mick Jagger grow up in the ghetto? But those are just what we call. See, this is a teaching moment. Okay, this is what we call stereotypes, and that we ascribe certain things to people based off of. See, stereotypes are things that come off of our ignorance of a situation or a person, and it's our ideologies that have no educational substance to it. Okay. So when we call somebody ghetto, or a black girl who's speaking like a white girl, is she really speaking like a white girl, or is she speaking like she has some sense?
How about a little bit of both?
Right.
Okay. But I don't think, because there's a lot of black people who speak eloquently. If you listen to a James Baldwin.
Yes.
Back in the day, you listen to black people then when they spoke, their dialect was so crisp.
Yes, crisp, yeah.
And
it's all about dialect.
Yeah, but now it's gotten obviously watered down a little bit, because back then I think parents, especially black parents, because we always have something to prove, you ain't going out the house speaking like you ain't got no sense.
Yeah, right.
You're going out of the house speaking like you have sense.
You have sense.
And so people, we focus more on that. Nowadays, we just kind of get away from that, but I just think it's more, I don't think it has anything to do with white, even though we attribute when you speak properly, you're speaking white. Right. I don't think it has anything to do with white.
It's funny, I
get what you're saying. You want your woman to act like she got some sense.
It
ain't always me.
Right.
I don't want you to act like you have some sense. I want you to have some sense.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it's funny. Like I said, I was at this debate last week, and the lady came up to me because she got the impression about me because what she heard.
Yeah.
And
you're an ignorant nigga.
Yeah, just this, that, and she said, you speak so eloquently, and I was like, what? Looking at her like, what does that mean?
Was she white or black?
Black.
Oh yeah. I hate when white people do that too. It's, you're so articulate.
Yeah.
But when black people do it, it's like, well, what else was you expecting?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Her perception of what people told her about me, I'm supposed to be this nigga up there, just Leroy Holt. Leroy Holt. I played football 30 years ago, No, she was like, you speak so very well. I said, well,
Right.
But as you get older in relationships and marriages, you're supposed to raise your standard.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tamar should know that, hey, if all of these men are leaving me, it's not them, it's me.
The common denominator
You know what?
is you.
I'm going to tell you. I don't know Tamar, but just a few things that I've seen of her. Just even in the interview that we were watching with her and Ayala, she was blaming everything on Ayala. So it's not going to be her. Even on her Instagram, when she was alluding to the fact that he left her, he lost a good thing, and he
wait. And see, here's what I don't understand. Why do black women put all of their business out in the public domain?
It's not just black women; it's everybody. I was talking to him about that this morning. Somebody unfortunately lost their life at his job, and people are putting it. His friends, his coworkers are putting on Facebook. I'm like, golly, did his family even have a chance to ascertain that my loved one is not coming home tonight?
I understand that, but I'm saying, like, okay, it's like me now. We joke about me trying to get with your sister, and well, that's not a joke. That's it. That's real. But nobody really knows about my personal life.
And they shouldn't.
Right, because I keep it to myself.
And they shouldn't. And so...
But it doesn't hurt to change.
True.
It does not hurt to change. Tokyo Tony, whoever the hell she is, and Brown China, and Tamar, and all these women who are losing these potentially good men, you're going to run them off and turn them into the same person that you're accusing them to be.
Okay, point of order. You, sir, have 2 daughters.
Right.
So is your perspective coming as a father of 2 daughters or as a predator of women?
A predator of women!
I would say a little bit of both.
Both, okay.
Because I don't want them to see me as, well, Dad's a philanderer.
Right.
Dad was with this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl.
Your younger days.
And so that becomes a turnoff to them. So they figure, well, if he did it, I can do it. And I don't want them to be a bigger hole than their friends are. As I've said before on this show.
Right.
As fathers, we want 2 things for our children.
Yes. Please repeat it.
2 things for our children. We want them to be educated, and we want to keep them off the pole.
Yes. As a father, if your daughter is on the pole, you have failed.
A little bit more than that,
you have failed.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean,
continue.
But yeah, I mean, so it's just like, I think that's important for women to hear, and I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about that kind of stuff because, for women who, and there's a lot of, this is just be honest, there's quite a few women who act like Tamar or your Tokyo Tonys who, are degrading their child.
Yes, and they have multiple children, they have multiple men in their lives, and they are never really happy, and they're not going to be happy.
And I think it's important to hear that from, a male's point of view on what type of woman is appealing. And I think I've both heard you guys say it numerous times in the past that a man will be with a woman who's maybe a little bit loud and all that.
We want your sex.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
But after
you
that,
overlook
like,
a lot of stuff just for the sex.
Exactly.
You ain't scaling these walls, baby.
You have a need for those type of women because if there wasn't bad girls, there wouldn't be good girls.
Yes.
Right.
So
that's true.
You got to have a balance in the force.
Yeah, but like I said, I just think it's important for women to hear that from a male's point of view. There's a lot of women who probably watch this, but like, I ain't gonna listen to that.
If you're with a guy and you're doing a lot of talking and you're trying to argue with him all the time, your relationship isn't going to work. It has to be some kind of consistency and trust. You're always accusing him. I was once at work and I was on the truck with this guy. And he turned the damn truck around just to go home because he left his cell phone at home.
Because without that cell phone, he getting that ass beat.
But why not just be able to leave your phone at home if you ain't doing nothing?
I don't know if a bad man could turn a good woman into a bad woman, where she feel like, well, hell,
that's powerful.
You cheated on me. I'm gonna show you how it's really done.
For the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, a no good woman was probably made no good by no good man.
Vice versa. So, yeah, we're not born to be bad people. I mean, you see these guys are dogs. That guy was, and look,
ask what does it take for a black woman to date a white man? I've never dated a white man. What white man have I dated?
No, I don't know.
I've never dated a white man, but I'm prefacing that by saying that I've been done dirty by
Black men.
Every black man that I've ever dated.
Okay.
All I ever dated is black men. So I've been dirty. They done dirty. Like I say, dirty. But from a black woman's point of view, we as black women, we like hang in there through the most. I mean, we through stuff we should have tapped out a long time ago.
Right.
We go through your multiple cheating.
Right.
We go through
the babies in the relationship, outside of the relationship.
I ain't never been through that shit now.
But
so in that case, that if a sister has been done wrong by all the brothers she's ever been with, then I think it's just as fair for her not to give up on brothers, because there's some good brothers out there.
But the point that I was making is, I'm just speaking from black woman's point of view. Black women go through a lot of stuff with black men. Y'all can argue with me if y'all want to. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. We go through a lot. Like I said, it ain't, well, he didn't take the trash out. It's he done got caught cheating 5-6 times.
He got another baby on the way.
He got babies on the way. He ain't bringing home no money because he's tricking off his money somewhere with another woman, he ain't going to work, or he keep losing his job. The man that took off. See, I took me back down memory lane. He didn't take it off in your car. He's supposed to go to the store. He drop you off at work. Your ass got to get a ride home because he ain't nowhere. I'm talking about the stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the stuff. You go reach in your purse, your ATM card's gone. You call the ATM or the bank, and you got all these multiple transactions because the fool is at the casino with
or
your
at
bank.
The nasty kitty with the buddies.
All of that.
Took your card and didn't put no gas
all
in
of
it.
that stuff. Or you found a hair off in your car that ain't yours because you're bald, and there's some, all this other stuff. And so the point that I'm making is giving you guys all those very gruesome examples to which I have experienced those things that I have talked about.
Jody, where does condom come from? Okay, can I get my vanilla shake?
All that's what I'm saying. So when black women tap out on a black man, 9.5 times out of 10, it's due to that kind of stuff. It ain't just because, he don't take out the trash or he left his sock. We wish y'all would do that kind of stuff, like the normals. Not you, baby.
Right.
But we wish y'all would do that, the normal stuff. And so a lot of times when a black woman taps out, it's because of those things.
Right.
It's like, I can't do it no more. I'm sick of fighting with Jerome. Let me go get with Jeremy.
Now, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. In our generation,
not to cut you off, but I've never been there. All the times that I've been through, and save that point because I'm going to finish this. People make a big deal about color.
Okay.
Oh, your man ain't this, or your woman, she don't look like she black. I would just like to say to a lot of y'all out there, my daughter's father is damn near as black as this table.
Yes, charcoal.
I've been with a lot of
charcoal,
dark-skinned men and all this other stuff, and if the color of a skin denotes how a person's going to treat you, well, hell, I should be the goddamn queen of some goddamn where by now. You know what I'm saying? So color don't have nothing to do with it.
No, and for all my fellow light-skinned folks, it's more to us than just the hair and the skin.
Right.
About what's in here.
Okay.
But to say that, to get to your point, I never thought about being with a man other than a black man.
Other than a black man. Now, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying now. We have a new generation of young women, and like I said, we've got a father of 2 beautiful daughters. And you remember we were at my aunt's house and my 2 cousins were there, the twin cousins, and we were talking about thugs and stuff. They were like, oh yeah, that's attractive and stuff like that. I mean, you've got a new generation of women that have picked up, and I was watching a program last night on YouTube.
For my man?
No. had to take a break from that for a second because, but no, there was a program where the person was like narrating the program and they were talking to the mother and her daughter had got killed. And, or disappeared. She didn't get killed. She got disappeared. And she was saying that, well, these kids, it was acceptable to the mother that the daughter was attracted to a thug. Like, well, that's what they're into, but when they get older, they're going to find out that it isn't what it is, And when she was saying that pretty much told me that mom, there's something about the bad boy. So what is your take on that?
My take on it is this. I think...
Because, you were down with it too.
Well, I think
most women, to some degree, it's a lie to say that most women aren't attracted to some sort of a bad boy.
Maybe the bad boy image provides security. That if they're with the goody two-shoes, the pretty boy, if something breaks out when they're in public, he's not going to do anything.
I'm going to tell you from my point of view, I don't think it's that. I just think I mean, men aren't any different. Mm-hmm. You know, we like a man with a little roughness around the edge. You know, like MC Light said, I want a roughneck to some degree. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't want to be with a man. A lot of women will tell you this. I don't want to be with a man I can just run roughshod all over.
Look.
I don't want to be with a man who ain't going to be like, baby, you talking a little bit too much now.
Look.
You know?
Halloween is coming up. I'm putting on my Ike Turner outfit. You can't be any rougher around the edges than I.
That's a little too rough. Okay? That's jagged. That's like shards, okay?
Well, if two people are rough around the edges, maybe they don't need to be together.
I'm not saying rough around the edges to the point to where you don't tell me what to say, goddamn it. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, just to be able to take control of the situation. A woman don't want to be with a man who's just...
But it got to be some respect factor
yes,
there, too.
Dear.
Well, one of the very first women I fell in love with as an adult, it was the weirdest thing because, I'm a happy-go-lucky type guy most of the time until I got tainted. But the thing is, though, when she would get, excited and moist when I would get aggressive with,
clear your throat a little bit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Or if there's an altercation, we went to this, thing in the customer service thing, the guy was, acting up or something. I had to jump on his shit. And it was that just made her whoa, And
women like that. We like a man.
I was on the verge of getting locked up, okay?
But we like a man that's able to take control because innately we feel safe because you guys are the providers. And so when it's not us always having to step up and taking control of the situation, and so we hear a noise in the middle of the night, we the first one running down the stairs and y'all under the covers
Well, you got to remember, we're butt naked down there. We don't want to trip as we jump out the bed.
You know what? She is showing what you're working with, okay? But we like that. Okay. But now, see, I should make a disclaimer that we don't want you blacking in our eyes. True. We ain't talking about that damn rough around the edges.
Then you with the wrong person.
We want you to be able to say, baby, I got it. Okay?
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. It's handled.
Right. So
we like that.
So in Tamar's situation, why do you think she's acting the way she's acting?
Well, she says that she was molested. She didn't get a lot of attention. I think that's a front. I think she's more jealous of Tony. To me was a turnoff. And all of this is that as much as she's crying and complaining and her mouth, her songs are not matching up to her personality. Right. That's what I don't.
She has a beautiful voice. I mean,
she can sing.
You can't take that from her. But
I think what it is honestly, I think it's the root of her upbringing. Her daddy. I mean, the episode I saw, no shade to her dad. He's a wussy.
Well, you remember he's a previous pastor, and he cheated on the mom.
But it's your daughter's acting a whole idiot, and you have nothing to say.
Well, she's grown. What can you say? If your
daughter's
daughter's
74 years old,
I know.
Okay, so I'll give you guys a scenario. Al wasn't. He thinks I'm joking. One day we all went out to dinner, and my dad did something that was kind of silly. I won't say what it was. It was silly, funny but silly. Al gets up and starts He starts laughing. Al has this big boisterous laugh. And so when he leaves the table, my dad, because, we're telling my dad, this, that, and the other. My dad turns to me and my sister and says, you guys you're getting beside yourself. Control yourself.
I didn't know that.
Because he got up from the table. And so I told him, joking, I said, you got me and my sister in trouble. Now my daughter was there. My daughter didn't say nothing. But my dad was like, watch yourself. This man is 74 years old.
Right.
I'm 47. And so the point that I'm making is your dad is never too old to be able to put you in check.
Well, maybe the dad having all those daughters and then the mother, all of those women.
Yeah, ganging up on him, right? Yeah, because he only had one son, so. And then, he's not in a moral position.
And you know what? I'm sorry. You can have 20 daughters, and you should never relinquish your position as a man of the house.
True. Well, I think he did do that as a pastor when he got caught cheating on the mother, and that might be something that he's probably guilty of. Okay,
listen, I'm gonna make this disclaimer before I say this too. I never ever want.
He probably didn't want to be there no damn way.
Well, I don't make an excuse for people cheating, but the daughters, Tamar learned that from somewhere, and it sounds like the mom kind of runs roughshod over the dad too. I know they're not together now, but it sounds like she doesn't have a whole lot of nice things to say about him. It sounds like she's always
still bitter. She's still bitter.
Riding his bumper. Yeah. And so perhaps she saw her mom do that to the dad. Maybe the dad, felt comfort in another. Maybe it's just a hoe anyway. I don't know. But maybe he felt comfort in another woman who doesn't talk to him
Right.
in a horrible manner.
Wait,
Well,
did
he
you ask
is
me
with a woman that's not like Tamar and her mother.
Right.
Is she with a woman like that?
Yeah,
probably.
no, he's not. He's not with a woman that's
Like
like
that.
Oh, so
his
he's with
daughter.
the opposite. So,
Yes.
so let's do the math. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some numbers here. He's with a woman who is the total opposite of the woman he married, and the total opposite of the woman his daughter is. The woman probably speaks to him respectfully. Probably ain't pulling his pants down verbally in the middle of everywhere, talking to him all crazy. Like she probably. So I mean, I'm not saying that's a reason to cheat, but damn, eventually you're gonna go where you find comfort and peace.
Sure, absolutely. So,
Even if it's to another race.
If it's to another race, honestly. I mean, I can't speak for other people. People have their own reasons. You shut your mouth.
No. I just want to bring this up.
Go ahead.
We have a friend that
Yes.
seems to be in a relationship
Yeah.
with. It's a very strange relationship.
Okay.
And to me, asking me, I don't think it's a real relationship. I think it's a come up.
Oh, got it.
You know what I
This
mean?
person shall remain nameless.
Yes.
I got it. I know what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Maybe it's an arrangement.
No, I don't think it is.
You think it's a come up? I mean,
I
it
think
very
it's a
well
come up.
could be a come up. I mean, it could be a come up. I mean, people do strange things for the change.
Because
I don't
remember,
know.
this person was engaged to be married
to the direct opposite of the person that they're with now. Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. But I mean, for people to say I'm going to date another race because I'm tired of, let's say, black women per se, or
I've
I'm
said that
tired
several
of black
times.
men.
I've said that
I think
several
people
times.
have their own reasons for doing certain things. I honestly think a lot of it is a cop out, because to say that I'm going to go date another race because there's no more good black women.
That would be impossible to do. You'd have to date all of the black women on the planet.
There are good
Then come to the
people out
conclusion.
there. I just think you got to ask yourself, well, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah,
that
what
I
are you
attract,
lacking?
Losers or whatever you deem them to be. What am I doing wrong? Because there are good people out here. I'm sitting next to two good black men. So obviously,
Hallelujah.
so there obviously are good black men out there,
Yeah,
but
okay.
are you seeking good black men?
Right.
Water seeks its own level, and so do people.
Okay.
So are you seeking a man that's good, or are you seeking a man who you feel that you're worthy of, a man who is no good? Maybe you're no good to some degree. Because people who know their worth, they don't go after or entertain people who are not deserving of their company.
Okay, so let me ask you this, since we've got Mr. Wonderful here. What is it that makes you guys' relationship work?
I always tell people this, because me and Al are kind of on the
Al, take the knife off of that. Take the gun off.
Right, put your turn the book away.
Yeah.
I always tell people this because I have people ask me that a lot, whether it's in my inbox or whatever the case is. I just tell people, because me and Al have a lot of opposites of everything.
Sure.
He eats meat, I don't eat meat. There's just a lot of things that.
Are you sure you don't eat? Never mind. No disrespect.
Well done.
I don't ingest it. How
Okay,
about
there you
that?
go. Okay.
So there's a lot of things that he does, I don't do, and vice versa.
Sure.
I always say you got to let people be themselves.
Okay.
See, Al knows who he is.
Okay.
I couldn't be with a man who didn't know who he was. And I know who I am. And so the fact that we know who we are, and I'm not trying to speak for you, but the fact that we know who we are, it just makes it work. I'm not trying to say, well, I can't be with you if you eat meat.
Right.
Damn.
I mean, there's people out there who do that
Right,
kind of stuff.
exactly.
I need to be with a vegan.
Yeah.
What if that vegan is a douchebag?
Right.
What is
I can't date him. He's not 6 feet tall.
Right, all of that stuff. And so when you're comfortable with who you are, I let Al be him. I did force him to drink some green juice yesterday, which he found it wasn't that
It
bad.
would have been better if it was cold.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
but I let him do
You're
his
expanding
thing.
his horizon. You guys are, as a couple,
we're
working
supposed
together.
to- I want him to be better because I know drinking green juice is good for him. But I'm not going to break up with him if he doesn't want to do that.
Right.
But you got to let people be who they are. We get in relationships sometimes and we try to change people.
Right. No, we were talking the other day. D calls me or texts me and says, "Oh, I'm doing this thing for Al," and I thought that was the cutest thing because it's like,
Damn, I wonder what it was.
yeah, you're doing your
You're
stuff
talking
for
about
him.
the paperwork. and
Yeah, the
stuff.
paperwork. Yeah,
Oh,
you're doing all the
okay.
paperwork.
Oh.
I'm talking about the paperwork. And I said, "Wow, that's really good when you have because one thing about Al, I'm glad he's here. Patience, brother. Patience.
It
yeah. But if you don't have it, at least you're smart enough to say, hey, could you help me? with what I need to do.
Well, my dad always says too is that. Let's see how much time.
You got time. You got time.
My dad always says too that a woman. He told me this yesterday because I had to, give my dad a tough talking to over some stuff. That a woman is supposed to bring balance to a man. Balance
to the force. Right.
And if a woman is not doing that, a lot of times women, if you think about this, are you bringing imbalance to your man? And that's by, and I also shouldn't say the word allow, but not wanting him to be his best by saying, hey, baby, don't you think maybe you should drink some green juice today?
And water. And
water and all that kind of stuff.
Or make that man see you got money left on the table. You need to go get that.
Right. Or... If my dad says a woman is not worth her weight if she doesn't impose some sort of demands on her man. You're not to say to nag him, but I think it would be in your best interest if you do this. Wouldn't you agree? It's not you need to do this.
Or let me ask you this: what man would be comfortable with their woman living in the projects or the thing? I mean, the thing is to come out of that. When we were coming up, it's about getting out of the ghetto. Remember Run DMC? We talked about getting out of there. But now they're like, oh, we're just going to stay here and we're good.
Well, I think if you're together, you're supposed, because I always believe you're always evolving as a human being. I don't care if you got all the money you want. Tonight we win in the lotto, so let's put that out there. Right. But even if it's you have all the money, you have all the, the place you want to live, I think you always should be evolving, you should always be improving as a person. You can never just stay sedentary. Okay, well, this is who I'm going to be. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do. You're always evolving. And so when you get with a person, you're supposed to be evolving to whatever level that is. I'm not saying that always got to be monetarily, but just emotionally, knowledge-wise, you should always be evolving to be a better person. Because when you're a better person, you become better people. You become a better couple. And then that just goes out into the world.
Well, I like it because you inquire. It's not just, Al, I did this. I got this going on. I did this. She's always asking me about, well, how's the kids? How's your coworkers? How's your family? And so that helps too when it's not just me. What about me? You, and it becomes us.
Right. So in conclusion, do you think Tamar? I think she's mentally challenged. I mean,
you know what? I think she is too, and I'm not trying to.
She might be bipolar or something,
Something's mentally going on. For anybody to behave that poorly.
Because Tamar's in her 30s.
As a grown woman, there's something wrong with you, and no man worth his weight is going to stick around for that. He might hit it a couple times, but if you talk to your daddy like that, you damn sure talk to your man like that.
I think what she needs to do is stop dating, concentrate on her music, get back to her sanctuary, which is the music. And as I've alluded to, I think she's jealous of Tony and her having this, when she did the Family Braxton show, then her and Vince got a show, and that didn't work.
Right.
Because I'm sure they were going through issues. It was a video she did called All the Way Home, and in the video, her and Vince are arguing in the kitchen.
right.
To that point. So,
and she has his hand all in his face.
Okay, well, there you go. So you guys go check out the video if you get a chance, but we're getting ready to get out of here. We got 20 seconds.
Hey.
So, like I said, in conclusion, I'm just going to say this. If a woman talks to her father like that, she will talk to you like that. Run very far away from her.
All right, we'll see you guys again in the next segment. We're going to talk about local politics. This has been Don't Believe the Hype.
Peace.